What's good YouTube, and welcome to the house. A lot of days I feel like I'm overly critical of Konami. This is a game I love, so often when I am giving criticism, I'm not just leaning into them, I'm saying what I would rather see usually, or the moves I don't like. I've got to give due credit where it's due, and something in the last 3 years in that Konami office has changed to where product has become more and more desirable. It's been less screw jobs, and there's still a couple of eyebrow raisers or things here I don't like, but I want to go over this year's product and why it's by far, in the past 4-ish years, been the best year of product, and realistically, it's a huge turnaround. I would say all the way back to DUEA, NECH, the Secret Forces. That's the last time I felt this way about Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. Legendary Duelist Magical Hero kicked off this year, and it's one of the first products I was able to confidently say on my channel, hey, buy this, keep it sealed for a little bit, I think this is a really good one. You have 5 protagonists getting huge updates, and that in itself is a winning combination, along with the name Legendary Duelist, which is a bit renowned for short printing, especially coming off Legendary Duelist 5, where we had that really bad time with the Dusted Gold and the Malicious Bane. But walking out here, Magician's Soul was hard to get, but not that hard to get. People were pre-buying Elemental Hero Sunrise for $30, expecting that short print, and we see it here today at $4, and Heroes got an update to where they were taking first place at regionals. I was playing that deck for a bit, and then RIP Malicious went to 2 on a ban list because of Master Rule 5, and that's another big update to this year. But when we look at everything happening here, I love it. There's so many cheap, good cards in this set. Satellite Warrior, Junk Converter, yeah! Oh, wait, people are a little bit tired of synchros due to Noodle Fuber, completely understandable, and I feel like people are tired about hearing when it comes to heroes and being in sets, but I think that's due to the bad hero reprints, not the actual good ones, like Honest Neos being very welcome at $1 here versus the $8 it used to be in. Performapal Popper Up here in the rare section, a great draw card that could see success in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point, and yeah, the Dark Magicians didn't become Tier 0 breaking the meta, we're back to it, Dark Magic Attack, but it was an extremely welcome and nice update with a powerful meta card in here that would sell the set. Then we go to Ignition Assault. This is the last core set that really doesn't leave me with a happy taste in my mouth, but it does beat a lot of the other ones that end up just having one card kind of sell the set and has promises to the future. So we have Lightning Storm atop the set, we have good choices for the Starlights overall, and the Starlight market has really pulled sealed product up by the bootstraps. Like, now it's not just like terrible and laying there and waiting for the Megatons to destroy their value. You're seeing the demand for it actually push the price up over time as it gets open, but the rest of the set kind of fell out. Gizmet Kaku fell to the Master Rule 5 update. He's not as impactful. We still hope for support from the OCG to fix Plunder Patrol and bring it to the next level, although it's still fighting in the metagame today. It's taking some results in online tournaments. Cross Sheep was a short printed rare, which was ahead of a lot of cards for a while, and then an update to Sky Strikers, everybody's favorite deck. At least Engage is banned now, and I do think it's actually kind of fun to play against at times at this point. I'll say it, some of my favorite matches when I'm playing Eldritch Magic Bolt are against Sky Strikers online. So this set is kind of a precursor to when Konami's going to change the ratios in core sets, because right here it's still 10 ultra rares, 8 secret rares, and not half the set being hollow. They can't go like this anymore. They need to make the product home run after home run, grand slams, and they can't just sell one card in the set like they did with Apollosa, Masquerena kind of carrying Chaos Impact, you know, Apollosa to Rising Rampage for specific references. You can't just have that one card selling a set and hope that it does it anymore. And honestly, then when we start to get to the core sets looking ahead, they pan out really nicely. Dual Overload is the best March reprint set, hands down, and that's thanks to them shoving all the Link Brains imports right into it before the new Master Rule. Links are still very impactful to the game. You're going to be using them in almost every deck, a lot of them, and you get another Infinite Impermanence reprint here, giving us 2 cards up to the MSRP of the set about, with Verite Anaconda staring hungrily at the Megatons and keeping good value as well. This is the most spread out for how wide open the set is that we've seen high values this early on. Union Carrier, another great addition. Silent Mining was so looked forward to. That secret rare even overprinted from Dark Neostorm, which was an amazing core set. It is at $9 here, and then Chaos Levineer missed the Megatons, got its alter art here. We haven't seen another reprint besides Ultimate Rare, and so many cheap cards thanks to the fallout of this being a little bit top heavy, and it feels like a smorgasbord of cards you could keep that could go up over time if Konami doesn't go, that reprint was so great, let's do it again. Now, Secret Slayers was over impactful for a lot of people's taste. Kind of like the Secret Forces Ritual Beast Necros. Well, here coming in are Adamancipator and Eldritch, and if you aren't playing these, you're fighting an uphill battle. Although we've seen in online tournaments, decks like Salmon Greats and Sky Strikers take it to them and even win those events while these are around. So I do think that they're not all powerful, and if we saw real-life events with the representation Salmon Great could get and other decks that are more budget, I don't know that these would be taking down every event, but the representation is very, very high, and they're very expensive for what they are, and like every single product, are you seeing this? It's not just the products that are upcoming that are going to be short on allocation. That's a whole nother issue with the real world things going on with the Crush card. But every single product is rising up in price here. It's beating the prices out of their MSRP. Now, granted, there's only 3 cards above the MSRP price of a pack. There's great reprint options that can go up over time and have been going up. And the rest of the cards in the set, they're not unimpactful. It's just how many of these got open. People are willing to sell these playsets for cheap, and you're going to be needing playsets in those decks with a lot of amazing reprints in here, actually. They did a great job. Secret Slayers was a home run. Eternity Code now is where we change the ratios. I don't like this change for the fear of having something like, I guess, where something's top heavy, and now these ratios are even worse across the board. There's no more short printing. Official by Konami, an announcement from their HQ. No more short printing happening, and that stayed true. But now everything is short compared to where it was, because now there's 10 secrets instead of 8. There are 14 Ultras instead of 10, and there are, I believe that leaves 26 Super Rares to leave half of the set freaking hollow. Now, there's good trade-offs. Parallel Exceed was a common. Konami did the gimme, kind of like they did with Pankratops and Reboot. They made it cheap, but maybe in case they had to hit it later. And, you know, I feel like that's one of those things they do. Starlight Rares have really pulled up every single set by its bootstraps, and Eternity Code is similar to Dark Neostorm, where we got so many great cards and updates that it made a ton of good cards cheap for a long time. Fusion Deployment down at the price of a pack about. You see Crocodragon, I could easily see this if it was a secret rare and like short print in the past, $30+. A Shatos was around $3 for a while, creeping up towards $5. The Plunder Patrol List, one of the best Plunder Patrol cards at $3 there, and the Madolche support. This started out at $10 on pre-sale, similar to the Deep Sea Aria starting out at $20, kind of like a certain Mermail Atlantean looking boy, Atlantean Prince, Neptibus, started out at $3. I know, he ain't a Mermail, I believe. Is it Mermail Atlantean Neptibus? I think it's just Atlantean Prince Neptibus. Anyways, I digress. That started out as 20 and went to 3, so did Deep Sea Aria. And the hand loops, my brother, didn't turn out as powerful as we thought. But so many great updates. Dinosaurs in the meta got a little piece. Orcust on their last leg got a little piece. They're still struggling with their bricks. A great generic extra deck monster atop the set, but it didn't ruin the value of everything else. And you can get meta options on the cheap compared to other sets. It really is the, like, when we look at past product in the years, standout sets like Cybernetic Horizon, Soul Fusion, and Dark Neostorm are where this level is at, but I think this goes a step above them, and so many people looked forward to Eternity Code. Toon Chaos was one I was shouting from the rooftops again. I'd had confidence thanks to Legendary 6, and I went, look, Toon Chaos reminds me of Ancient Millennium. You have the Toons, original printing, gonna be similar to the second Legendary Duelist Ancient Millennium, and that set's like 400 sealed, and now you see this set skyrocketing for its sealed overall, and the collector rares were a home run. Now, in the OCG collector rare is much easier to get. Konami, here, every 3 boxes you may have 1 collector rare, making each individual about half as hard to get as a Starlight rare specifically. Starlight rares are 1 per every 2 cases in core products. These are 1 in every 3-ish boxes. But to get an individual one, that means you're busting open like 4 cases to RNG get 1 of each and every collector rare, should everything go right with the printing errors that did happen with this set. I gotta be critical. I gotta give both sides of the story. That being said, this was is actually more endearing for its production errors in terms of there are so many miscuts, shifts, cool things happening with the misprints, and an unlimited wave already coming to fix the situation of this being short on allocation, that I think this first ed sealed could even skyrocket past that for the remembrance of that in the history. And first ed collector rares, similar to ghost rares, over time will develop a long gap in price for the most developed ones like Blackluster Soldier, Stardust Dragon, and maybe even some of the playable ones once we can go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in real life more often. I know some areas still can, a lot of areas are shutting down from being able to. The singles in here, people weren't as happy because, you know, we didn't get the Warrior structure deck. It would have been nice to just buy 3 structure decks, but I don't think that structure deck overall would have sold as well as we thought. Konami didn't have that confidence, and they yeeted them on in here, and it's not the worst price in the world right now, but I do think they could go up in price depending on how little or how much of the unlimited Toon Chaos gets open. Extravagance, also a slam dunk home run. Sports ball, by the way, in here, and a lot of cards with the potential to go up over time. Look at Toon Kingdom having its one printing. Well, I think these will do well for themselves in the future too. They revamped special editions. Special editions are done. They saw them as too repetitive. Only the promos were selling those sets, and over time, sometimes those promos would become too expensive for what they were. So seeing this, pretty awesome to see them revamp Legendary Duelist Season 1 and 2. I would have liked to see red as one of the colors because purple and blue are very close together, but they seem to be bringing 20th anniversary over here in Battles of Legend for our 10,000 Dragon, so that's probably why they avoided red on a holo foil, and everything out the gate, really affordable, really awesome. You have these cool character cards, and I think they picked pretty good singles despite no Toon Kingdom in this set because they're saving it for later. Battles of Legend Armageddon doesn't necessarily feel like as good as most Battles of Legends because we missed those high-end reprints. There was no $60 plus card yeeted on in here. We didn't get a Crystal Wing, a Borrelsword Dragon for its time, and they also did Engage early, but then they reprinted those in the Megatons again. So, like, I would almost rather avoid reprints, but I'm also a fan of accessible cards for everybody, especially if they're going to hold a good price anyways. But I've never heard so many people come forward in my live streams and say, I've got to have this. And so many people in my comment sections lately saying they were going to max out their number collection. This, depending on its ratios, man, I hope it's one every 3 boxes, but I've got a sick feeling. This is what a ton of people are looking forward to in the set now, and I agree. This is a one-of-a-kind collectible, and Konami did a great job bringing it forward along with the 10,000 Dragon. I don't think that replaces something like Borreload's Savage Dragon maybe making it to the set. It's not a comparable, but it's something special for the sealed product that will help push it along with the rest of Battles of Legends. It's not a bad set. It's just not as good as I feel like most Battles of Legends turned out, especially Heroes Revenge last year, having the BLS link. I remember those pre-sales underestimated at $6, and then, you know, Borrelsword getting the reprint, All Mirage almost guaranteeing that set would be good. Link Brains imports really carried sets for a while for Konami, didn't they? But you see here, the boxes, pre-sales even, like multiple sellers have told me they're running out of this on pre-sales fast. Rise of the Duelist is upcoming, so let's move to upcoming sets. Rise of the Duelist has Dragma, it has Fire Noble Knights, it has 3 tactical talents, which I think will be overhyped at first and help push other cards down. I think there's tons of great Starlights they can pick. I definitely like where they're headed with core sets thus far since the ratio change. They really seem to have taken into consideration what they've done here and made the product more appealing and appetizing overall, but I still don't like the mindset of there's 24 secret rares in a case, and in order to get a playset of everything, you now have to open more than a case, which is $720. It makes it harder for vendors to fulfill orders. It makes it harder for players to chase things down. But in the meantime, while you're chasing that down, the give and take are Starlight rares, which are just home run cards. Like, I've said home run way too many times, but seriously, you feel like you won the lottery when you freaking pull a Starlight rare for the most part, and they've been doing better at picking those. And I feel like with Eternity Code, that huge change of just dropping in Effect Veiler, and now every single set can have speculation of what they're going to drop in from the past. It's pretty cool. It might be Gaia the Dragon Champion here after its success in the OCG, though. Phantom Rage, I call it Phantom Baby Rage for stream memes, has some really good archetypes coming out, like the Tri Brigades is actually something I'm looking forward to playing. And I want to call it data scrapers, but I don't think it is. There's definitely another archetype in here that's going to help push it, along with the Phantom Knights, combining with Raid Raptors, UAs combining with FAs, really cool concepts there, and 17 exclusives coming to the TCG, whereas this is getting 20 OCG imports. Konami has proved this year they're not scared to play with product, but I do have bad news again. Rise of the Duelist seems to be shorted on allocation. I can't believe that's happening with the core set, but we are in hard-pressed times. I do understand if Konami doesn't want to short print core sets. They would take as many sales as they could make if they're trying to make the money. So with this, they've got to figure out what to do with unlimited sets already, maybe faster than they wanted to, because this is how they're doing special editions. We already have our next upcoming one as Dragons of Legend, the complete series, which, look, they're doing dice in a product. They keep playing, they keep trying things, they keep innovating. It really feels like someone excited about Yu-Gi-Oh! Got into that office and breathed fresh life. So the OCG started structure deck polls, and we got to vote for structure decks that we wanted to see. And while almost every single archetype in those polls ended up in some kind of product somewhere else, like we mentioned Madolches, Phantom Knights, everybody seems to be getting their piece of support here and there later, just not on the scale of what a structure deck would offer. They're listening to the fans, they're giving them options, they're pushing things forward from them, and they are translating to the TCG. And finally, the 10s. Last year, they fixed the 10s. What do I mean by that? They changed the rarities from the core set, and they gave us Prismatic Secret Rare, not to be confused with Starlight, so that we get a different kind of rarity to look forward to within this product, upgrading other things, and also the secret rares get downgraded. So the secret rares actually are easier to get, the chase cards are easier to get in this product, and they're doubling your chances of that this year. But there's no news of promos for this yet, and Dragoon got mixed into the pack to help sell more 10s. So the RNG is even crazier than ever of what people are chasing here. Nibiru and Dark Ruler No More being promos last year were very, very welcome, honestly. It was great for vendors and duelists alike. Now the pain of chasing a card in these begins that is original to the set. So again, give and take with some of these situations, I still say Konami's turned it around these last 3 years. It feels to me like the DUEA, that's Duelist Alliance era, all over again, where we're starting 3 archetypes, and then you build on it. Secret Forces comes in, bang, you build into it. It really feels as exciting as that era when it comes to these archetypes coming out, these new decks coming out, and just not dredging like the next core set and having to chase after one thing. Now there's a lot to look forward to with almost every product I've talked about, even the side stuff like your Toon Kingdom. It'll make its way on over here eventually, unfortunately, but I think they've actually done a great job with product. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think of this entire year of product versus the past couple? And do you think the last time it was this exciting was around there, or are you dissatisfied? Like the changes I mentioned, do they tear apart enough of it to where you're not happy with it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And as always, bookmark that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. I haven't felt like I could say, maybe it's good to go sealed and keep it sealed, or maybe even rip something open for a long time, and this year has turned that around for real.